bringing Gator Nation a different Gator Great every episode.
This is Jabari Gaffney. You're listening to the All for the Gators podcast.
Hey, I'm Earl Everett. You're not a Gator, you're Gator bait.
This is Bo Carroll.
Hey, I'm Rita Anthony.
This is Kewan Ratliff, and you are listening to All for the Gators podcast.
This is Cedric Faison, a.k.a. C4.
This is Brandon James.
This is Jack Jackson. Go Gators.
Hi, this is your boy Jeremy Mincy, a.k.a. Mr. Mintz, and we were the All for the Gators podcast.
This is Ben Trooper. You listening to the All for the Gators podcast.
Hey, guys, this is Jarvis Moss. Go Gators.
You rocking with Lito Shepherd, and we're All for the Gators podcast, man. Top notch.
This is Chris Doring, and you're listening to the All for the Gators podcast.
And now, your Gator alumni hosts, John, Andy, and Sid.
Well, lots of Gator news dropping, fellas.
Oh, I love news. What you got? Hot off the presses? Is it breaking news? Breaking?
Well, not by the time people hear this.
Oh, okay. Well,
it'll be old news by then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, not late breaking news. Let's go with some old news. John's got old news, folks.
All right. First off, Jack Pyburn. He signed with LSU.
Trading the swamp for the bayou. Oh, that's definitely a downgrade. No, I don't know about his decision making.
So the Kane narrative, right? We're supposed to say, "Oh, go be great."
Sure,
but I don't feel like saying that.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on this one. Let's not go be great.
I mean, after doing all these shows with all these Gator greats from all the different eras and hearing their stories and their stories about their teammates and working together and you know, making each other better and competing for positions and the brotherhood and winning together, it just goes against all of that to just go for more money somewhere else.
That's true.
College football. That's just my opinion. So I'll say go be great, Jack Pyburn, until you play us. How about that?
I'm looking right now to see when they play us. Week 3. It's our first SEC game.
I love that.
There you go.
At LSU.
Right off the bat.
Yep.
All right. News number 2.
More news. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Jake Slaughter, our center.
I did see this.
Yes. First team All-American. Ladies and gentlemen, he's getting a brick.
I like it.
And he's coming back for his senior year, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what I saw that too.
That's what I'm talking about. That's loyalty.
I like that news better than that first bit. That was good. That's good.
The last first team All-American, Osiris Torrance.
He's playing pretty well in Buffalo. They're scoring a lot of points with him on that line.
The last All-American centers, I believe, were the Pouncey brothers, right?
At center, I believe so. Yeah.
09 and 2010, I believe. So it's been a while. But Jake Slaughter, first team All-American.
Right.
Congratulations.
It's good to hear.
That's great about some current Gator success, but what Gator Great do we have on our show this week, John?
Well, guys, today's Gator Great was just a pure athlete that excelled on the track and all over the football field. At Ed White High in Jacksonville, he dominated at corner with 26 interceptions. Also had years of 700 and 800 yards rushing. In his senior season, he set the school mark with 8 scores on defense, added 19 more on offense between passing and rushing at quarterback when he earned first-team All-State and All-American honors. And he was selected as the prestigious Florida Times Union Player of the Year. After graduation, he was ranked as one of the top corners in the nation, and he picked DBU over Miami and Florida State. As a Gator, he would go on to start 24 or 35 games, had 102 tackles, 25 pass deflections, seemed like he was always in the mix for the rock when it was up in the air, and even blocked some kicks. He went on to play in the NFL for the Jags, then some in the AFL and CFL. Gator Nation, I present to you one of the baddest DBs of DBU, 2001 first team All-SEC, and winner of the team's most outstanding defensive back award, with number 15 on his chest in the orange and blue, the lockdown corner during his time in the swamp, Mr. Demetrius Andre, you know him as Dee Webb.
All right.
Appreciate you. How you doing?
Good. It's an honor to have you on with us. We've been trying for a while here, and we got you now, and man, we really appreciate you taking the time.
Man, I'm so sorry. Honestly, I almost forgot just now till I walked in the house and come from a basketball game. I said, oh, baby, I forgot I got to do this interview.
Well, we're real glad you're here, so thank you.
Yes, sir.
First of all, let's get right to it before we go on about your career. Channing Crowder, former Gator and Dolphin, was on a podcast And he made some statements that sort of riled up Gator Nation a little bit, and some of the Gator greats like Stephen Harris and C4 and Herb's guys like Ahmad Black. So he took some shots at Urban Meyer, saying that the 06 and 08 championships were won on Zook's recruits. Chris Leak, not Tim Tebow, was the monster that won them that 06 title. And when those recruits left, that's when his heart started hurting, and he left and went to Ohio State. And he sort of got like a ready-made batch of new recruits, right, that were already there. So you were at UF 03 to 05, just before the championship season, Urban's first year. What are your thoughts on Channing's remarks?
It's some accuracy to it. It's just Channing being Channing. If everybody knows Channing, Channing gonna add some mustard to the doggone sandwich. But that first championship, I definitely could agree with him. Everything he said about the first championship. He's inherited a great roster, of young talent. Well, we weren't even young at that particular time. A roster of players that played straight out the gate, which is our 03 class will probably, depending on what rankings you look in, we was 1 and 2, us and LSU. So give or take, probably one of the best recruiting class ever come through University of Florida. Highest ranked recruiting class, every position we played. Pretty much what it is, every position but I would say offensive line and probably running back. We had top 3 guys coming into high school, leading off of Chris Lee, the number 1 quarterback. We had number 1, 2, number 2 receiver in the country, me, number 1 DB. Then we had Earl Everett as top linebacker, Joe Corn, top dog on running back / DN, Marcus Thomas, another top 3 at his position. Jarvis Moss, number 1 DN. Even Reggie Nelson, number 1 safety. So it's hard to compare other Gator recruiting class to that right there. Like, we had top 3 at every position except probably 2 in our recruiting class, and we all came in and played significant time if we didn't start as a freshman. So a lot of us feel like, yeah, Meyer won the championship with Zook guys, and only people that really contributed that year Meyer didn't really want it, quote unquote, was Tebow and Percy. If you want to keep it blunt, honest, and really, Percy put more hardware out there and more foot to track on the field than it was Tebow, and that get overshadowed too. So,
and that's what I was going to mention. They didn't even mention Percy when they were talking about that. And in my opinion, he was the most impactful player on the field.
He definitely played a bigger part than Tebow did. Tebow, one of the greatest Gators ever. By no way is this a Tebow bashing, but in his freshman year, though, it was kind of like a gadget play. He didn't really have enough time on the field to have that kind of impact. I mean, Chris Leak was the quarterback, so you're always taking a chance taking the ball out of his hands anyway. But.
And if people know Gator football, that 06 year, if they don't have Percy, they don't win.
True.
Yeah.
Just to be blunt, honest with anybody, like you say, Tebow was the gimmick guy, get him down in the 5-yard line, we're going Tebow ball. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the grand scheme of things, they don't have Percy that year, and the things Percy brought to the table, they don't win a championship that year.
Well, was Harvin Zook recruit or was he an Urban recruit?
He was an Urban recruit.
Okay.
Yeah, and Percy don't get a lot of credit for that because Tim Tebow. But that year right there, Percy carried the offense.
Yeah,
Percy was the man that played running back. He was the man that played receiver.
He did
all over the field.
Exactly. And that get overshadowed by Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow years was the following years.
Yep.
Where he really came in and made his real impact on University of Florida. So that's kind of like what we was all going back and forth on, talking about on that thread. And like Channing, like I said, he has some stuff true, some stuff I don't agree with, some stuff I agree with, because at the end of the day, all Zook guys was gone in 08. So he did recruit off of he sprung board off of what Zook already had started. Like they always say, you can't follow the man, you got to follow the man behind the man. And that's just Zook was unfortunate. He followed the man behind Steve Spurrier, and he got left a raw deal because Spurrier walked out. Honestly, if everybody knows, Spurrier walked out and told everybody he wasn't going to be the head coach for University of Florida like 5 days before signing day. So he really didn't really get no real top-notch recruits other than C4 and Randy Hand.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of people don't even know that. That was his first year of the recruiting class, and he only had 5 days to really go sign players. If everybody go back and look, that first year Zook actually coached, it's only 2 players that didn't redshirt, and that was Randy Hand and C4, Seattle Phaser. Right. We all came in the next year, his real recruiting class, and all came in playing significant time to start it our freshman year. So by the time we playing 2 years in the SEC, we young. We just competing. We come into a Wild Wild West, a league that's probably amongst them. We ain't no problem. We already know SEC football where it's elite compared to what everybody else playing against week in and weekend out. And I tell people to this day, I went to the NFL and I played against better competition than the people I practiced here on the Jaguars. So that say a lot. You feel me?
Wow. So Harvin was a big part. That 06 season, he had over 400 yards rushing. He averaged over 10 yards a carry. He had over 400 yards receiving. So you agree that 06 was Zook's guys plus Harvin for the most part. So you don't put in that 08 team into that group, right? Those are some of Zook's guys and a lot of Herb's guys. Is that right?
It's not even some of Zook guys. Zook guys are gone. What I mean by he springboard off what Zook had started. He came and inherited a good team, won a championship with a great team, which I preferably think we had a chance to go do something his first year because we was all seasoned. He just had to learn. Coach Mike had to learn that same offense he was running in Utah won't go working in SEC. And he had found that out when we played Tennessee. He was just amazed that we had linebackers in the SEC could run with Chad Jackson and Andre Caldwell. And we used to tell him that. So he had to learn his first year. Like we say, we still would have went to the SEC championship. We just beat Spurrier. We got a talented team like we had our junior year and we lose to Spurrier first time playing against Spurrier. Well, we shouldn't have lost to him. You feel me?
That's right.
We win that game, we go to the SEC championship his first year. That's hard to do.
We had Coach Zook on the show. Great guy. I actually really, really enjoyed talking with him. You could see how he would be a great in recruiting. Very personable. We asked him about how he feels now being so far removed from this era. Obviously he took a lot of grief. RonZook.com came up. But
fire RonZook.com.
That was it. Excuse me. Fire. He left out the key word there.
And he brought it up. We didn't bring it up.
He did. Yeah. He had a great attitude about it. So, like as somebody who was there in the trenches with him and experienced that, how do you see his place in Gator Nation? And do you think, as we do now, farther removed, and some of the junk that we've had since Urban's left, do you think Ron Zook now is rightfully getting some of that appreciation he probably missed out of and should have gotten the first time around?
Yes, I think so. Because when you look back at it, like I say, when I said originally said, it's hard to follow the guy. And Spurrier was the guy. So any little small thing that don't go and get a country way, following Steve Spurrier, he was gonna get the grief anyway.
What was it about? What was it about Coach Zook for recruiting that got you guys all to come in?
I just think how aggressive he was, like he could relate. And then me personally, I think he was more of a people person, a player coach type of person. By him being at the NFL, he knew how to deal with men, sort of say.
Sure.
And I think that's what kind of the difference, coach style, him and Meyer. I feel Meyer more fit for college. The discipline and all that. Zook was more get the job done. I don't care what you do, get the job done. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Meyer's on more, he want to know about your everyday living. He want to know about you. On the other hand, Zook was more, he took an NFL approach.
And Zook brought in a lot of the guys from the 96 championship team, too.
You did.
Exactly, back in the day. So when I tell you, he got a gift for gab, coming to somebody's household and selling a program. And like I said, he's very energetic. He's one of those coaches that get in the weight room with you and do all the stuff that you're doing. So that took a long way. Like, when Zook used to come to the Ed White High School, he'll work out with me. Stuff like that. It ain't nobody else that come to my high school.
Bobby Bowden sure wasn't doing that then, right?
Exactly. So that thing, he didn't get a lot of credit back then, but on the high side of everything, I think people appreciate him more for what he did for the program and the players he brought into the program. Because I can tell you right now, if Zook went there, I wouldn't have went to Florida. I was a Hurricane growing up. I am a Hurricane to the end of the day, to like literally to my birthday, December 8th. I committed to Florida on December 10th. I went to my visit like that weekend, December 6th, December 7th. I came home, talked to Fedora, and committed to Florida.
So you had UF, UM, FSU, you had LSU, West Virginia. You were a Hurricane fan.
Right.
So was it just Zook that got you to Florida?
Exactly. It was Zook.
Wow.
He was a very aggressive recruiter. Like I said, he was hands-on. He in your face. And like I said, once a man come down here and come in your territory and get in your locker room and your weight room and lift with you, that said a lot about a coach. So that was really I grasped to. Like I said, I was a Hurricane growing up.
I got to ask a question about that. Who in the world is a Hurricane fan in Jacksonville? Were you like the only member of the Canes fan club up there? Like that's definitely Gator country, maybe a little Knowles. How'd that happen?
My daddy was actually a Hurricane fan. I inherited from my daddy. He was a Hurricane and Cowboy fan, so it just came just being in the household with my pops. That's all.
Okay. We grew up in South Florida, and Andy and I grew up when we were young, early teenagers, as Hurricane fans. They were winning national championships.
Right.
You know, that was the world we lived in.
Correct.
So after high school, Andy went up to UF, and I went to community college, and then I was transferring, and I remember talking to Andy and saying, you know, I'm coming up there, and we're not Division I athletes, all SEC players, but we're still fans of the teams, right? So I remember talking to Andy saying, okay, I'm coming up there. I'm going to transfer, but I'm telling you, come football season, I'm a Cane through and through.
Yeah, that didn't stick.
And I told him, I said, okay.
He's like,
okay,
we'll see about that.
All right. The first game I went to, I walked through that tunnel and saw the field, and that was it.
Yep. Same thing happened to me. Yep.
I bleed orange and blue since that day.
Right.
So did that happen to you? I mean, you're actually playing on the field. So did you still hold a place in your heart for the Canes, or was it just that was it? That was wiped out, and it was just all Gators.
Nah, I always had a place in my heart for the Canes. I still root for them. I root for them when I was in college. My thing was I always wanted to play against them and get. I can tell you another story. Me and Coach Zook fell out my freshman year. I'm actually competing for the starting job with Johnny Lamar. And I rolled my ankle against doggone first week game. We still compete for the job, and I rolled my ankle against Dallas Baker, one of my good friends to this day, receiver coach for Baylor. Dallas Baker touchdown maker.
That's right.
Yep. We always hurt each other for some reason. Every year, for some kind of reason, we get in camp, we hurt each other for some kind of reason. But this was our freshman year. I rolled my ankle. I was out for like the first two games. And I tried to come back. I wanted to transfer because they wouldn't let me play against Miami. I had an air cast on my ankle, and Zook didn't want to let me play. I wanted to transfer just because they wouldn't let me play. That was like the second game of the season. I knew I could play. I was still trying to get out there and play. That's how bad I wanted to just play against my childhood team. But I got a chance to play against them at the end of my sophomore year, when the year they got rid of Zook, and my Coach Strong was our interim coach. So that was like one of the highlight moments of my career.
Well, we're glad you picked Florida. But when you get there, that DB room is packed, right? You got seniors Matt Jackson, Johnny Lamar, you mentioned. Keywan Ratliff is team captain. Were you kind of being promised any playing time, or did you have to kind of fight, like you were just saying, we having to kind of fight for everything as you were coming in? What was your mindset?
Mr. Coach Zook, his whole thing, the number one thing he said, I'm not giving you nothing, but I'm going to give you a chance to compete for the starting job. You got to go compete against a fifth-year senior walk-on that just earned a scholarship. That's what he told me. I'm going to give you every opportunity to win the job. Y'all get all the same reps and all that. And he was a man of his word. We didn't know who was going to start going up to the first week of the game until I rolled my ankle in second day of practice on the Tuesday. And I was out for 2 weeks. And then he just went with Lamar going to SEC play. So I just backed up Johnny and Keywan and got significant amount of playing time. I actually started one game. So that was my freshman year. He lived up to what he said. They gave me opportunity. I actually went out there, competed, and we really didn't know who was going to start until week 1. And then I rolled my ankle, and that's Johnny Lamar's job now.
So you mentioned Kiwan, friend of the show. He was on, and he gave you great props and respect, talking about big stud coming in as a freshman, you and Ronaldo. What was your relationship like with him? Was it a big brother situation? Did he take you under his wing and show you the ropes out there?
This crazy. Back then, they really didn't take us under the wing because, like I say, we was a stud class. We were like the man, like what I say when I tell you, we were so star-studded. It was like we came in like our stuff didn't stink, and we knew we was really first recruiting class. We knew we would have every opportunity to doggone compete for starting jobs. So they kind of like they big brothered us. You know what I'm saying? In a sort of way, like hazing us and stuff like that, getting at us. But it was like a bittersweet situation. The more they hopped on us, got on us, the more it made us compete. It brought the best out of us. Long in hindsight, looking now, it's like they really was just competing, really to get the best out of us, because they knew what type of class that we had came in that year.
Okay, that year Gators go 8-5 under Zook, and you get in 11 games despite the high ankle roll, playing special teams, some on defense. So let's talk about the game on the field. You obviously dominated in high school. What would you say was the toughest part of transitioning to the college game for you?
The toughest part transitioning to the college game, honestly, practice, so to say. Honestly, to be honest with you, because what I had to go up against every day in practice, I went up against 2 first day receivers every day. Dallas, but like I say, the people I went against in practice every day at UMass Pro is better than the people I went against and I played for the Jaguars. So that right there alone compete. Then I don't know if y'all knew, all my roommates were offensive guys. Chris Lee, Chad Jackson, Andre Caldwell. So I had to deal with that.
It's a talented room.
Yeah, it was.
Exactly. So that what I had to deal with that on an everyday basis. So really, as far as my mental and transition, I was always a study film guy in high school. Coach Dan Dish, which was my high school coach, also my DB coach at Florida my second year. He instilled in us watching film since our 9th grade year. So I knew to watch film. I knew how to look at film. My thing is just the competition I was playing against every day in practice, which I'm going against star-studded receiver. I'm going number 1 and number 2 receiver in the nation coming in with me. So me competing against them every day, it made it easy for me to go out there and play on Saturdays.
So having them as your roommates, sort of, you had to keep up your game, right? Because those guys turned it on early in their careers, right, as freshmen, and so
it was good and bad, just because I knew all they played. So when I wanted to mess up practice, I knew what was going on, so I just be a butthole. You feel me? And just mess up practice. And then it was bad too. In a sort of sense, they knew the same thing. They special Zook defense that I played, and everybody know we played quarter half, so they know I'm on the back side. They knew I was the boundary corner, so the boundary corner likely going to be in cover 2 and all that. So when Chris picked up on that type of stuff like that, which he's a doggone football guru junkie, because he'll put the whole play. Back then, this is what Chris Lee could do. Chris Lee get his whole playbook for the University of Florida and put it. He'll take a whole day. And every time he get NCAA, he take a whole day, take the whole playbook, and put it on college football.
Nice.
So
wow,
him doing that and him learning, he'll ask me questions and know, especially with Zook defense. Once he learned, just as his freshman year now. Once he learned it's quarter half type of defense, and he knew I was the boundary, he distinguished what's the boundary and what's the doggone field. He knew where to go with the ball.
Wow.
So
he was getting reps on his video game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
After practice.
So that's what I had to deal with with Chris. And once he figured it out that we was a quarter half team and one side boundary, one side of the field, he knew where to go with the ball. So he'll get on my nerves with stuff like that because he knew our defense and I knew their offense. So we knew how to get at each other, so to say.
I have another question about something I saw on social media. I think it was Brandon Spikes recently posted, maybe Instagram, maybe Twitter, I'm not sure, a picture of, I think it was him and Charlie Strong.
That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT.
In Gainesville at the practice facilities recently.
That's the GOAT.
Charlie Strong was the DC/assistant head coach during your time there. Do you know why he was back in Gainesville? And what's your relationship like with Coach Strong?
It's love on first sight. It's just gotta get in this eyesight. It's love on sir. Anybody that don't play for Coach Charlie Strong, they gonna say the same thing. We were brought through a brick wall for him.
We've heard that a lot.
That's all we hear. Yep.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you, he don't change. He the same person. That's all you can ask for in a coach, somebody that's consistent.
So is he coming back? What's the deal?
I'm hoping he come back. If he come back,
we need a defensive coordinator. Maybe.
Hey, if he come back, it would be a great look for the doggone Gator country. I can tell you that. And I tweeted out that the other day. If we see him come back, it's a great look. And if he snuffing around those parts of the doggone the woods, it might be something going on.
Let's hope. Let's
hope.
Well, that next season, 2004, is you take the starting job at corner and really start developing into one of the premier defensive backs in the nation. How hungry were you going into that season?
Going my sophomore year, I worked out with Lito. So, I don't know, a lot of people probably don't know, I modeled my game behind Lito. I worked with him in the off season. You know, both him been a standout coming out of Jacksonville, Florida.
That's right.
So I clinged to him. Once I got there, he'll come back and work out with us and work out with me. So my ceiling was to do everything he did, so to say. So I used to...
Good person to model yourself
after.
Yeah, it is.
So I used to, when I'm out there playing, every week I talk to him before the games.
Wow.
And get insight on stuff and get just him motivating me, him getting my mind right. That's who I doggone was chasing after, is Lito Shepherd. Even though I know I dropped 1 million picks and I left a lot of money out there. He got more picks than me, but I dropped a lot on. So that's the person I used to idle myself out as a Florida DB.
I think Kewan said when he was on that if there was no Lito Shepherd, there'd be no Kewan Ratliff.
Yeah, and he right, because Lito, like I said, Lito was active when coming back in the offseason. He worked out with us. And Kewan actually played with him. I never played with him. I just always used to see him in high school. He always we was one grade away from us being in the same, you know what I'm saying, school time zone, or sort of say, or how you want to say it. I get in 9th grade, he was going off to doggone University of Florida. I get to Florida, he got already leaving off.
Each other.
Yeah, we just missed each other, and it just so happened he came back one summer. Well, I want to say matter of fact, I want to say it's summer. Yeah, it was summer going into my sophomore year. And me, him, Riche, and Jabbar all out there racing. And it became a bond since then. And ever since then, to this day, we still talk, shoot the bull and all that.
So you mentioned that was before your sophomore year. Clearly, you had some positive results there. You start all 12 games, making problems for offensive coordinators all over the SEC. Got 61 tackles, 3 picks. You led the team with 10 pass breakups. What can you tell us about where you were going into the end of the season there and getting ready to come on to take a bigger role in the seasons to come from going forward there?
I knew I was the man to come back. I knew I was the only one. Really, I was the only star DB coming back going into our junior year. So I knew
you knew it was your turn.
Right. And I knew, honestly, the year before that, me and Ronaldo Hill was the first year starters. So I really had to pick up right then. And like I say, in Zook defense, I played like the 8th man in the box type of sort of say. I played to the boundary side where in cover two, if we see run, I got to come in on the run fit. So that's how I end up with a lot of tackles, just going and basically look like a blitz, but it really wasn't a blitz. I was just reading in-man line of scrimmage. But going into my following year was Coach Meyer. We played on a totally different scheme. So instead of me being a quarter half, a run stopper kind of DB, I had to play a lot of man-to-man. We would a lot of man-to-man fires on a defensive player, which fires on turning to man. So that was a big challenge for us as me and Vernell Brown. That's the big homie. One we looked up to, a man that doggone was a man before his time as maturity level that taught us a lot of things just off how he handled his business. So going into that junior, I knew I was gonna be one of the mans that Coach Meyer fell back on. I was actually one of the guys that he talked to on his first trip coming to when he accepted the job, when he get ready to go out to the Fiesta Bowl. I was one of the guys that he had a personal meeting with on the side. So I knew my expectations. I knew what he was going to put on me, and I took the challenge.
Let's talk about week 7 that year. Unranked Gators head to Death Valley, number 6 LSU. You grabbed your first INT. You guys had a big win, 19-7. How special was that grab for you? After so many in high school, I'm sure it was nice to get your hands on the ball at the college level.
Yeah, especially after me dropping so many because everybody asked me like, where your hands went. I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, 2 H's. I guess it's too many people in the stands on this level here. My eyes got bigger than what I expected, and I'm just missing balls. But that was one of my first grabs. It was, my first grab against LSU. It was one of those situations. It was just honestly, I picked the ball off, and the ball wasn't really going to my receiver. I just sloughed off the tight end and went back there and grabbed the ball, just making a play, honestly. Just because it's film study, honestly. I just knew the play, and I just baited him like I was going to stay up on my man and just went back where I knew he was going to throw the bat. But I think he was throwing back to early Doucette.
Okay.
Well, that LSU game was huge for the Gators, but later in the year, that Vandy game was huge for you. Career high 13 tackles. You also blocked a field goal.
Yep.
How do you remember that game? It's got to be up there on one of your favorites.
Vandy game. I remember when I blocked the field goal. I'm gonna tell you one thing about Vandy. Jay Cutler gave us fits.
Yeah, dude.
He did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He gave us fits. I remember. I don't think it was that year. One of them years, he took us like double overtime.
Yeah.
With no receivers. I was like, this motherfucker good.
Throwing a bunch of dentists out there and hanging with us. I remember Jay Cutler well.
Yeah, we in the swamp. I think he took us a double overtime. That's the crazy thing about, like, it be so certain games like the Vandy. The 3 games I played against Vandy, 2 of them they actually were playing was one on overtime and in the swamp. And it's like, come on, Vandy ain't got nobody but Jay Cutler.
Yeah,
that's right.
And guess what? Those tackles was tackles that I'm right there, Johnny, on the spot. Like, Jay Cutler, how can the hell you throw this ball right here? Receiver catch the ball. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those. And I had like you said, I had a field goal block that kind of changed the game and helped us too.
As a playmaker, what's it like getting a chance to block a field goal? Is that sweeter than touchdown saving tackle or breaking up a pass or an interception? Like how does blocking a field goal rank? I think
my biggest moment, the biggest moment, and I think it's probably one of my first signature moments of Gator football. My blocked field goal against Tennessee. It changed the game right before halftime. I blocked the field goal against Tennessee. That's probably one of the loud. Outside of my freshman year, when we played Florida State at home, that's probably the loudest I ever heard the Swamp get. When I blocked the field goal against Tennessee at home, my first year. That was his first signature win.
We have a lot of playmakers that come on the show, and it's really interesting. Like yourself blocked some kicks. Chris Rainey, he blocked a bunch of kicks.
Right.
We really don't see that much anymore. How come?
Because Meyer was over special teams. In those years when Meyer was there, he coached the special teams. A lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people probably don't even know that. He coaches special teams. And guess what he go do? If you go up to his office Monday through on Thursday, he looking at film on finding the weak link, finding where he can block a kick in every game. He took pride in that. Anybody that you know that you talk to, they will tell you, Meyer go find if he go guarantee you one block. It's either gonna come in the punting or either field goal game. He go find somebody weak link on that thing, and then if you don't block no field goal, you go have to see him in practice.
He was also really good at those timely fakes too. He pulled off a few rabbits out of his hat there. He did have a knack for that timing on the special teams.
He was big on special teams. Then that's what I like about Meyer. He was a great coach. I'm gonna keep it 100. And on the hindsight of thing, he's great for college football coach. He go bring in his coordinators. He go bring in the people that's gonna help his coordinators, and he go worry about his special teams and give you a philosophy on how to win. And that's controlling the ball and playing some great special teams, getting one turnover, and it's infallible. Everybody would say that's his favorite, infallible.
So at the end of 2004, you're voted the most outstanding defensive back. At our school, that's really prestigious.
Yes, sir.
Clearly establishing yourself as the next great Gator following Lito and Kiwan, as we talked about. So what can you tell us about your memory of finding out that you were winning this great honor?
Oh, man, I can't even remember. Football banging my head all my life. Honestly, I don't even think I knew until they told me that the day I actually found out I won it. Now, to be the God on the truth with you, it wasn't. I can't say it was a surprise. I was very happy. It was a great accomplishment. It's something I could always keep, and nobody can never take from me. And like you say, it's not too many people can say they was one of the MVPs of the doggone defense secondary. So
right.
It's a great accomplishment, and I was happy to have it, but I wanted more.
Well, let's talk about 2005, right? Your last year in the orange and blue, your junior year, the year Urban Meyer comes in. You've touted him, as a great college quarterback. We've had a lot of your teammates on that have described their experience with him from that transition from Zook to Urban, some good, some not so good. We saw Swamp Kings, right?
Right.
And what was going on with the culture. Did that happen immediately when Urban came in? And how did you personally react to Zook leaving and Urban coming in?
I was mad because the dude that brought me in, I felt like he didn't get a chance to actually coach his guys and got the time he needed because we was all playing straight out as freshmen. And by the time we got seasoned, I don't think they gave him enough time. I think if Zook would have stayed that year, we at least made the SEC championship and competed for the championship that year because he knew what was needed to win in the SEC. Just didn't have enough time. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that kind of had us already clinging to this new guy coming in from Utah, and then the way Meyer came in like who he is, like straight a-hole, like this y'all ungrateful. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and everything he did, he said he took the locker room from us, which we thought like, what in the hell this man got going on? The man made us do that's the first time we really did mat drills.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did stuff that was non-football related, but brought us together to the point where we they're killing each other to just get back in the locker room. You feel me?
Right.
Because he don't let certain people in at certain times. You had to do first and foremost. What I can say about him, like I said, he's a college coach. He brought tradition to the program. One of the main things we had to learn before we could even go back into the locker room is the fight song. Okay. None of us knew the fight song. He was so distraught about us not knowing the fight song. Oh man, it left a bad taste in his mouth. So that was one of the stigmas that we had to know the fight song. On top of he went on color grades as far as like your grade scales, like green, yellow, and stuff like that. You had to be in a certain color scheme to be able to get back into the locker room. And if you're not in the locker room, you got to take your own clothes home and wash them and stuff after workouts.
Wow. That's college
So he did.
kids. Wow.
So yeah, so he did us like that. He did a real nasty. Then, like I said, he did a lot of team bonding that it had nothing to do with football, but we still competed. If I sort of say, like the Midnight Madness type of stuff, just to keep us out of downtown games because we used to get in trouble a lot. So we had to come up to the doggone stadium at 12 at night, and we out there actually 12 at night carrying big boulders of bricks, chains, all crazy stuff that has nothing to do with football, competing against each other, carrying this stuff, like having races against each other, and the loser have the dog gonna do stadiums or something crazy just to keep us out of Gainesville, downtown Gainesville, from getting in trouble. So that's the type of stuff he did with us. It was extraneous that we didn't think it was gonna help us, and we thought he was crazy.
What's the worst color level you got to? Did you ever get to red? Was that the worst?
I learned fast. That's the first time I ever been academic SEC. The whole time I was there, I figured it out quick. I was one of the first ones in the locker room. I figured it out quick. Hey, let me take my butt to class because they checking up on us for real, and let me take my butt to tutor and take this serious.
Well, all that crazy stuff he's doing, you lock it down that year. You start every game. You lead the SEC in passes defended with 14, 36 tackles, an interception. Do you think some of that contributed to the level of success you had, or what do you think it was?
Honestly, yeah and no. I'm gonna tell you, that year I think I was in the best shape of my ran track.
Mm-hmm.
When I went over there around with Coach Mouse, the GOAT, Mike Holloway, I think that right there took my doggone game to another level because everybody like, you never get tired no more, Will. Like everybody used to look at me like, you never tired. Like I keep going and going like an Energizer bunny. And so I think me actually, and that's what I didn't like about Zook. Zook didn't let me run track. Mike gave me a chance to go run track. And I think that right there helped me excel my junior year. Like I said, I never got tired. And it helped me because we played a lot of man. So
why didn't Zook want you running track? That's interesting.
I don't know. Man, Zook had his ways. He just stuck on his ways. He let Ronaldo go run, but he wouldn't let me run.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of calls back to my earlier question. Do you prefer a game where the quarterback is so intimidated that it doesn't even look your way all game, like the ultimate compliment for your craft? Or do you prefer them challenge you and press the ball on your side, give you a chance to make a play?
I've always wanted to be challenged. And like that's crazy that you say that, because my junior year, a lot of people used to try to pick on Vernier because of his size. So I really didn't get that many opportunities. And when I did, I dropped my picks and they'd be PBU because I ain't thinking the ball really coming my way. So then the years prior to that, I was more involved in the action because, like I say, we ran a quarter half, sort of say, and I was bound the corner. I got in on the run a lot.
Do you ever chirp at the quarterback, trying to get him to throw it your way if he wasn't?
I'm always talking. I'm a talker in the middle of the game. I'm definitely gonna talk.
All right. Well, listen, it wasn't just the secondary though. You were making a name for yourself. Tennessee, you block a field goal. You block a punt against Mississippi State.
Right.
You return defensive extra point. Only the second Gator ever to do that.
Very cool.
Versus Spurrier's Gamecocks. So
right.
How special are kind of all those doing so many different things? Do those things kind of all mesh together for something that you look back on, or is there something specific in there that you preferred over another?
Like I said, I think the signature point with me, I think the biggest play was for me against Tennessee, that block field goal.
Yeah,
because that was like I said, Meyer first signature win, first major win, rival type of win, rival for SEC East type of win. And it came in a pivotal point in the game, like right before halftime, where they was getting ready to kick a field goal, and I think they was going to go up.
I love nothing more than seeing Florida State get destroyed. This year was particularly enjoyable as well. So let's talk about that last game of yours in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. You really did stick it to the Noles. You had 6 tackles, a forced fumble, pass breakup, crushed them 34-7. So Frequently, we ask our guests, what do you remember about your first time walking on the field? But I'd like to ask you about walking off the field one final time in orange and blue after you just left the Seminoles devastated in your wake. What do you remember about that final game on the Swamp and hearing the crowds one final time out there?
I knew that was going to be my last time. I definitely knew it was going to be my last time because I was out of there. I just knew I had to put a good game, play my best game, and honestly, all my best games came against that team out west. So it was I'm gonna tell you, my favorite play in that game, the most significant play for me against them, was me making one of my good friends fumble the ball, Leon Washington.
I love him from his time with the Jets. Great returner.
Yes. That's one of my good friends, and I actually got to hit his butt because I never get to play him in high school. He went to Andrew Jackson. We never played Andrew Jackson, but he was a standout high school running back in DB in Jacksonville, Florida, but I never got to play against him. And between me, him, and Lito, a lot of people argue to say we the best ones ever come out of here. I got to hit his butt and make him fumble.
Nice.
And guess what? I let him know about it.
Well, that season, you cap it off by earning first team All-SEC honors. That's got to be a badge of honor for you, right, to this day, to know you were the best of the best in the SEC at DBU at your position, right? Do you wear that on your sleeve?
I definitely wear it on my sleeve. I preach it to my boys now. I'm actually coaching / GM over at NFL. I know for the education of what the school is owned by another Gator Great basketball player, Stacey Poole. So I carry that on with me to all my young comrades now that I'm coaching and I'm mentoring right now, just giving a bit about who they get an opportunity to get coached by.
Well, you cap off your college career, 10 tackles in the Outback Bowl in Tampa, so you do play in the bowl game, something we don't always see these days. 31-24 win over Iowa. I guess you kind of said you knew you were going to the NFL at that point, so I guess I'll ask you the question this way. Did you have reservations about playing in the bowl game, or was that another way for you to prove, show some stats to the next level folks?
I was going to play. I'm going to tell y'all straight. I was in a doghouse.
Okay.
I didn't even know they were going to let me play in the bowl game until probably like 2 days before the game. They had to vote on it. Like what Meyer did, Meyer he always had captains. He had a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior captain. He let them vote on whether I got to play or not because I didn't practice the last practice, getting ready to go away for Christmas break before the bowl game. It was too cold outside not to practice. You know, I had the dog gonna wake up 5 o'clock every morning at the bowl site to go down there and do extra workout just to be able to gonna get them to vote to see if I could be back on the team. So I was in the doghouse. So once I got a doghouse, everybody was up for kills.
Well, you plainly said you knew you were done, doghouse last game and all, but obviously we all know what happened the year after you left. Clearly things worked out okay for you, obviously, but do you ever sit there and wonder, man, if I just stayed one more year, I could have got that championship? How often does that cross your mind?
It really don't, because if the freak accident don't happen where two actually shoot one of my guns in the doggone neighbor's apartments, got doggone a week before the NFL Combine. I was a top 50 prospect, so it was like I took a chance on me being top 50 prospect, which would have landed me. I get my draft grade back middle second round and the first round. So I took a chance on myself. My whole goal, my whole dream was to be able to go play in the NFL. It really wasn't to win no championships in college. My whole dream was just to play in the NFL. So I saw it. I took a chance, and just a freak accident happened, and it dropped me in the draft to where I ended up landing in the 7th round to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Your hometown Jags, and you achieved that dream, right? Because they select you in 2006.
Right.
Were you excited to play for your hometown team, being so close to Gainesville? Did you get to celebrate with the guys when they did win the championship?
Oh yeah, that was my senior class. That was my senior class. So yeah, and all of them my buddies. So whenever they win, whenever I got a chance to go down there when they won the championship, I was down that party right along with them.
Nice.
You stay with the Jags for a couple seasons. You get in 11 games. You do have a pick.
Right.
Do you remember who it was off of? And did you get to keep the ball?
J.P. Lawson.
The Bills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah, the Bills.
You got the ball?
I still have it to this day.
Nice.
All right.
Very nice.
Right.
You mentioned earlier it was a little cold for practice. So how the heck does a Florida guy thrive up in Canada for the CFL for 6 years? I guess you got some thermal underwear, got used to the cold weather. What kind of adjustment were you looking at there?
Listen. Oh my goodness. I played in 1 Grey Cup and 2 East Finals. When I say I played in the coldest mess ever, I don't know how I did it to this day, to the point, literally, like, your sweat freezing up on your face. Your mouthpiece, your mouthpiece come out your mouth. Your mouthpiece froze when you putting it back in. So let me give you my first experience. Well, I played for the Hamilton Ticats. We played in the East Finals against Winnipeg. They told us not to stand by them heaters. I get by the heaters, and I go on the field. Only thing you see on film is me standing still,
steaming.
The whole place. You see everybody running. I'm just standing still, like stuck. I'm like, I can't move. I'm shivering. My body defrosting so fast that I'm by the heaters, and I'm in the middle of the play, just stuck. Good thing to play with the other side. Coach cussing me out. I was like, yeah, never again. I'm just have to fight it all the way through the cold. So, yeah, I don't know how I made it. I did it. It was fun, but not so fun.
Well, before you went up north, you actually went over to the AFL, and you win a championship there, winning the Arena Bowl. Arena Bowl 22. Was that a fun season for the Philadelphia Soul?
It was a great season. I actually met a rock star, a dude I knew a lot of his music, not even knowing who he was. Bon Jovi. He's a great.
Okay. Yeah, he owned that squad.
Yeah. He's a great guy. He hung out with us. We've been in concert with him in the Madison Square Garden. He showed us nothing but love. When I tell anybody that played on that team that year, tell you that's the best time they had in their whole career.
So when you're in the club and Bon Jovi, his song comes on, are you singing it?
Yeah, we know
there you go.
That's the crazy thing.
You give love a bad name.
Listen. The crazy thing about it, we in Madison Square Garden backstage with them. Everything. I got my backstage pass, all that still to this day. Like I said, it's the best experience I ever had. We in the middle of the concert. Hold on, let me rewind. When I go for camp, I'm letting my mama know who I'm with. I don't really know who he is. She like, son, you don't know who you with? That's Bon Jovi. That's like the rock star. Like, you know all his songs. His songs a lot of doggone movie soundtrack. I like, Mama, I don't know who this dude is. They say he's a rock star. I don't know who this is. But guess what? Fast forward, we go to his doggone concert. Remind you, I tell you, for the black men, all us in the concert saying the songs word for word. We're like, man, we didn't know this was Bon Jovi. Hey, we asked to hang out with him. We know his music. It's crazy.
That's really cool. I actually have questions about arena football, though. I know that those fields were much smaller.
Yeah.
What is that like from a defensive perspective? They typically score 50, 60 points a game.
Right.
That's a lot more work. What is it like, difference of that as opposed to the NFL? Obviously, Canadian Football League's a wider field. There's some change there.
Right.
What can you tell us the difference from your craft on the 3 different kinds of fields and the rules and preparation and what you had to do for that?
Honestly, I'm going to say, when it comes at first, my position, that was the hardest.
Yeah.
Playing in the arena was the hardest transition for everybody. It's a lot of NFL players that can't play arena football. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
It's quick, it's fast, and you got to have great hips. Sort of say it's all covering.
Mm-hmm.
For the like, you get you a Ty Law type of DB playing in the NFL, you good at playing cover 2. Arena football, you got to be able to flip them hips and play cover man and be able to dog stick somebody running full speed at you and know the angles of the game. So I can't say just on my experience, my position, it was harder playing arena football than it was playing outside for NFL. Not
even if it wasn't as cold.
Yeah. And then that's like, now we could go to that with Canada football. The fields 20 yards long and 10 yards wider, you got to cover more ground. with all the receivers running at you full speed. So it was give or take. So like I say, the talent level better in the NFL, but some of those DBs couldn't play in those leagues because they're not cover I sort of say not cover DBs.
Okay.
I was just going to ask one last one here. Who was the toughest person? You played in so many different leagues. Who was the toughest guy you had to cover, whether it's college or any of the pros or wherever you played? What was the toughest guy you remember that you had to cover?
The toughest, I give Tyrone Porto. Do you remember the receiver played for Alabama? The play I was on, he broke his leg and his leg snapped.
Oh, that's right.
He was tough. He was there. He was a tough cookie. I'm gonna just tell you that. I mean, he was undersized but great hands. Great route runner with great hands. He was a tough cookie. He gave me a run for my money.
Who was the best trash talker you ever lined up against?
Trash talker. Dwayne Bowe.
Okay.
Oh.
Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a good receiver.
Yeah.
Dwayne was good. See, I just matched up good against Dwayne because he was big. And I was used to
he was a big dude.
Fast, quick receivers.
All right, so let's take it to current day now. We all know your cousin, Treon Webb. Gators running back. He went down with a broken fibia earlier this season, week 4, I think. And he had season-ending surgery.
Right.
And missed the rest of the year. Can you tell us how he's doing? And is he able to file a medical redshirt?
Yeah, he redshirted. He just take one day at a time, and he'll be back better than ever. I just can't wait till he get back because it's competition time now.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you got him. You got Jackson, Ball. That's a stout backfield. What do you think about this team we got coming back, and the backfield, and then just the team as a whole?
I love it. I love what's going on, and that's what I told him. I said, time repeats itself. Y'all going through the same cycle that we went through. Billy, go get the players there. I just say I hope they give him a chance to doggone be able to coach his young guys when they get older. And that's what they Gator Country gave him a chance to do that. But I feel like we're finna come back this year and make some noise. Because guess what? All those young kids, the kids that we've been playing since they freshman and sophomore year, they done had their bumps and bruises. And guess what? They showed fight and grit through this season to let you know they can withstand adversity.
Do you see any similarities between Zook and Napier?
Oh, good question.
As far as they're both great recruiters.
Great recruiters. Yeah.
They're getting some bad flack from the media, although Napier's holding on.
Yeah, because both, like I say, I done met Billy, Coach Napier. They got similarities. They stand up guys. I feel like they are who they are. They practice what they preach. And then if they tell you something, they go stand on that. That's all you ask for as a recruiter. I mean, recruit coming in, you just stand on what you're selling me. If you stand on what you're selling me and give it up to me, and let it be me that mess myself up, I can't be mad at you. You can't be wrong. And I think Billy do the same thing. Like Mike, he not gonna tell you something that he can't doggone deliver with.
Lagway undefeated as a starter. We got the 3-headed monster in the backfield coming out. It's going to be an exciting year next year. Can't wait.
Defense was playing great down the stretch too.
Yeah, it was.
You know what it's going to remind us of? That year, our freshman year, when LSU went and won a championship, when they had all them back, Broussard, Vincent, and the other back. They had 3-headed monster back.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody don't want to see that in the fourth quarter.
All right, D. We usually end the show in a bit. And we're going to do you or trivia. Are you ready?
It's my favorite.
I'm ready.
Here we go. Who had more pass deflections in a single season? You or Janoris Jenkins?
Ooh, me. He probably had more picks.
You did. You had 14 in 05. He had 11 in 08.
Right.
All right. Number 2. Who had more pass deflections in a career? You or Kewan Ratliff?
Ooh, Kewan, he played longer.
No, you did. You had 23. Kewan had 17.
Oh, man, I thought Kewan had, but you know what? Kewan did start out playing receiver.
That's right. True, yep.
That's right.
Yep.
All right.
About that.
Who had more block kicks? You or Jarvis Moss? Ooh. Cock block.
Man, Jarvis had one of the biggest ones
That's
all
right.
time. I got Jarvis.
You both had 2. It's a push.
No, what? I had Vandy, I had Mississippi State, and I had Tennessee.
You had 3?
Yeah, I had a block punt and Mississippi State.
You're not giving him credit for his extra point, John? You just looking up block field goals?
And Tyrone, you remember? I blocked the punt for Mississippi State, and Tyrone Holmes, he caught it for the touchdown in the end zone. And then I blocked Tennessee field goal, and I blocked Vandy field goal.
I missed it. I had 3 down here. I just said 2.
There you go.
No,
fixing the post. Fixing the post.
All right. Number 4. Who scored more points in their UF career, you or Joe Hayden?
Joe done picked 6 some stuff. I ain't picked 6. I had 2-point conversion.
No, he didn't. You had a 2-point conversion. He had 0.
Wow,
trick question.
2-0.
That's surprising. I thought he had a pick 6.
Trick question.
Not in college.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dang, that's a good one. You got me on that. I could have sworn he had a pick 6.
Oh, and here, this is how we're going to end it. You ready?
All right.
Who had more career tackles, you or Lito Shepherd?
Oh, man. Whew, I think Lito, because Lito played a little bit more my freshman year than my freshman.
Nope. You had 102 for your Gator career. He had 87.
You had him by a lot.
Dang.
They hardly threw it on his
And you
side.
did have that 13 tackle game. That helps.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So you got them all right. I got one wrong. So.
Right.
Good job, John. Let the guest win.
No, I got a couple wrong.
All right, D, man. It's been an honor and pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on. And, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was great. Thanks for the time.
No problem. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Absolutely. Can we get a Go Gators?
Go Gators, baby. We going to be back.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. That's the way to end it. Dee Webb. No, that was worth the wait, man. I know it took us a little while to get him on, but man, that was fun.
It was. He gave us a lot of great insight that we haven't heard, and that doesn't happen often because we've had so many guys on from all the eras. We usually hear a lot of the same stories, but he gave us some new stuff, man. It's good.
He played football everywhere. He gave us some takes that we don't usually get exposure to. It's pretty cool.
Yep. Hey, let's do our 2 bits.
Oh, hey, you make me go last every time. I'm jumping in. Let me go first.
Sid, why don't you go first?
All right, thank you. If that's okay, excellent. I love that D's bingo card for playing football. Like the only thing he's missing was like going to Europe to play with Kurt Warner. He did the AFL, he did the CFL, he was in the NFL,
almost the XFL.
He did with the XFL. Oh my God, he's got the whole alphabet soups. If there's an FL, he had his finger on it. That is very cool. That's got to be a record. Like, how many players do you think like danced in all those different environments? And to my question from earlier, for a defensive back too, how different that is. I actually used to work on setting up arena football, the layouts. Their field is crazy different, and I don't know if you ever watched the games, but as I mentioned, games are commonly in the 50s and 60s. There's a lot of scoring. So a defensive back, that's a lot of work. You probably don't have to run as far, but oh my God, it's like constant boom, boom. So
that was the league where you could bounce off the walls, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yes, wild. Hey, Dolphin fan, Rondé Gadsden came out of that league. You remember?
Yeah, Kurt Warner. Yep. Kurt Warner, he got his comeback with them.
I was just very impressed with the travels. Clearly, D had a love of football. He talked about his goal to make the NFL, superseded his priority to win a college championship. And when it didn't work out in the NFL, his passion for the game took him everywhere you could imagine. So much respect. Loved to hear about that. And I really enjoyed this interview.
All right, good deal. Andy, you want to go?
Sure, I'll stick with the arena football theme and just go with the whole Bon Jovi discussion. I thought was kind of funny.
That was out of left field.
Yeah, I had no idea who he didn't know who Bon Jovi was, but knew he knew his songs. And then they're going to concerts at MSG and backstage passes, and he just talked about how much fun he had that season when he played in the Arena Football League, and a lot of it was, he said Bon Jovi was a great owner. I wonder if that'll translate to future ownership.
A good guy. He was a Samaritan. He saved someone from jumping off a bridge a few months back. I saw online. John Bon Jovi making people happy everywhere, on and off the gridiron.
But can you picture an arena football team at one of his concerts singing all the songs?
No, you know what I picture? I picture a bunch of sorority chicks in a club, and You Give Love a Bad Name comes on, and they're singing at the top of their lungs, and so's Dee Webb in the club.
Yeah.
With the sorority girls.
And all his teammates.
That's right.
Good deal. All right, my 2 bits is I didn't connect the dots because I didn't know that Lito was coming back and training at UF with the defensive backs. So we knew he was connected to Kewan. They had played there. They had a good relationship. But I didn't know Lito was connected to D, and apparently Lito is the one that took him under his wing and taught him a lot and brought him along and helped develop him. The big surprise for me was Lito Shepherd.
One of our favorites, friend of the show.
Another connection there. Yep.
Top notch.
Top notch.
All right, guys. I think this might be it for the year.
Been a good year.
So
we're running out of
we'll
year.
see.
Yeah, we're running out of time, but hey.
Can I come back next year? We keeping this going?
I don't know. Your contract's up, so I got to see.
All right. Well, we got to have some negotiations.
You may have to go to the AFL for a little while.
Yes. Hone my craft.
It's been a fantastic year, guys. Another year just full of amazing Gator greats and their stories and accomplishments and sharing it all for Gator Nation here. It's the All for the Gators podcast. Go to allforthegatorspodcast.com. You can check out all our episodes from this past year, all our episodes we've ever done. They're all there, and you can see who we have scheduled to be on early next year as well.
Well done.
Wow.
Well done.
Good job. What a year. Good year for the University of Florida, Gators athletics overall. Good year for the All for the Gators podcast.
We broke the mold by getting a current player, so we'll see. Maybe we get another one of those. So it was a groundbreaking year for us.
Yes.
At the All for the Gators podcast.
Very good stuff.
Good deal, guys. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Go Gators.